You have a Maple Systems HMI, and you have a Schneider Electric Modicon M241 PLC, and you need them to communicate with one another. In this video, I will show you how to connect them using Schneider Modbus TCP IP. We will configure the PLC, build a ladder logic, and create the HMI project in EB Pro. Then we will download both projects and test the complete system. My name is Kyle, and welcome to another Maple Systems video training series. To follow along with this tutorial, you'll need a Maple Systems HMI, and for this example, we'll be using a CMT 2078XV2. You'll also need a Schneider Electric Modicon M241 PLC, and for this demonstration, we'll be using a TM241CE40R controller. For software, you'll need EB Pro for the Maple Systems HMI, and for the Schneider PLC, you'll need EcoStruxure Machine Expert Logic Builder version 2.6. EB Pro includes built-in Schneider PLC communication protocols. Therefore, you do not need an external gateway or additional communication hardware. You only need a standard Ethernet connection between the devices. Okay, here is a network diagram for this system. It uses a local Ethernet network and a standard network switch. The PC, HMI, and PLC connect to the same switch. Each device also uses an address on that same subnet. The PC programs both devices. EB Pro configures the HMI, and EcoStruxure Machine Expert Logic Builder configures the PLC. The HMI communicates with the PLC using Schneider Modbus TCP IP, and this connection lets the HMI read PLC values and write operator commands. Okay, let's begin by opening EcoStruxure Machine Expert Logic Builder, and this is version 2.6, and you'll need this software for the Schneider M241 PLC. So I already have a project built, so I'm going to go to File and then Open Project. I'm going to select my sample project here, but I'm also going to show you how you would start a new project with your M241 PLC. So here is the project that I have built. To start a new project, go to File, New Project, and you want to select the controller. So the one that I am using, of course, you want to select the one that you have, but the one I'm using is the TM241CE24R. And then here's the firmware version. You name the controller here, and then you can select your language for your main program. You can select anything here. I would select ladder logic diagram. And then storage format, you can select classic or file-based project. Then name the project, and here's a location. Press OK, and make sure you have default project selected here as well. So when you get into your project, you want to double click on your controller right here, and you can see that your PC has recognized the controller. As you can see, I have mine right here, and you'll want all the green lights, maybe hard to see, all the green lights on the PLC to be lit up. And I have my Ethernet cable plugged in, and I have my PLC on the 100 network, and I'm going to need this IP address when I go into the HMI project in EB Pro. I will use this IP address to communicate via Modbus. So now let's go over to the Ethernet settings, double click Ethernet 1, and here is that fixed IP address I'm using. And you want to make sure down in security parameters that you bring over Modbus server. You'll need this to communicate with the HMI over Modbus communication. And that is the basic setup for your M241 Schneider PLC. Now let's create the PLC program structure. So we're going to add a POU program, and this is where we're going to declare our variables and then also build our ladder logic. So you can see over in the project, I already have it built here, but I'll show you how to do this. Under the applications tree, you'll click Application, right click, Add Object, then POU. Name, you'll just name it here. I've named it POU. You can keep it like that as well. Then type is program, and then implementation language is going to be ladder logic diagram, and you'll click Add, and it adds your POU. So up here is where you declare your variables for your program, and then down here is your ladder logic. Take a look at the variables here. The HMI writes the pump command to memory bit MX10.0, and the tank level uses memory word MW0. The program also uses internal variables for the overload condition and flashing alarm. So first, add a greater than or equal to comparison and compare the tank level to a value of 85. So when the tank level reaches 85, the program activates the pump overload condition. So next, you'll add the pump control rung. So use the HMI run request as a normally open contact, then add the overload condition as a normally closed contact. So finally, connect both conditions to the pump started coil. Then the pump runs when the HMI requests operation. However, the pump stops when the tank reaches the overload threshold. So next you'll add the two 1-second timers. These timers alternate an internal flash bit between on and off. The flash bit controls the overload output. As a result, the alarm output flashes once per second. Finally, you'll add a reset network. This network clears the flash bit after the overload condition ends. The last thing you want to do here, you want to assign your physical PLC outputs to your actual digital outputs. So over here, DQ, double click, and you want to map this. So you have your two physical outputs, Q4 and Q5, or QX0.4 or QX0.5. Those are the actual physical relay outputs. So you want to assign the pump started variable and then also the overload output. So to do that, you'll double click, drop this down here, and then click application, POU, and then you can expand this here, and you want to select the pump started, and then you'll also select the pump overload. So pump started for this one, and then this one will be the same thing, double click, and you'll click the pump overload bool and click OK. Okay, now we're going to build the project and download the project to the PLC. So first, we'll create a boot application. And this is going to essentially compile the project so you'll see if there are any errors within your project. So go to Online, Create Boot Application, and we'll overwrite an existing one here. Click Save, Yes. And you can check out your messages down the bottom. If there were any errors, they would show up here. You can see there are no errors. Now we're going to download this project to the PLC. To do that, you can either go to Online, Log In, or you can click the Login button right here. And are you sure you want to log in to the node? Yes, that's the correct PLC we're connected to. Click Yes. And then we'll be online, download the project. A post configuration is active on the target M241. Yes, you're going to overwrite the configured settings that were already on it. That's okay. Click OK. And you'll notice that everything is green over here. You'll see the circular arrows next to everything. That's good. That's what you want. But also on the bottom, it says stop. So you want to switch from stop to run mode. To do that, click this button here. Yes. And now we are in run mode. And you can see the values here. Everything is off. Everything is false right now. And you can also monitor your logic. Okay, now we're going to configure the Maple Systems HMI in EB Pro and build the operator interface. So let's go over to EB Pro. You need to download this from the Maple Systems website. The first thing you're going to do is create a project using one of the CMT HMIs that we're going to be using. You can see I already built the project here, but I want to show you how to do this. Go to File. When you first open EB Pro, New, and you want to find the CMT HMI that you are using. So for this example, it's going to be the CMT 2078XV2. So you click this, then click OK, and it will start a new project in EB Pro using the CMT 2078XV2. I'm going to go back to the project I already started, and now I want to add the Schneider PLC Modbus TCP protocol. So to do that, you'll go to Home, System Parameters, and I already have it added here, but I want to show you how to do this. You go to New Device / Server, and you want to find Schneider here in the list. And here's Schneider Electric, and choose Modbus TCP IP. You'll see that it says Ethernet. That's fine. Leave that as is. Then you'll need to change the IP address to the PLC IP address. So click Settings, and you do 192.168, and it's going to be 100 network, and then 114, and that's going to be port 502. Click OK, and that would add the protocol after you click OK again to your project. So I'm going to click X out of here, and I'm just going to open up the one I already configured, and you can see that IP address is that, and then you can see that it's set to 502 port number. And that's how you add the Schneider Modbus TCP IP protocol to your Maple HMI project. Okay, now we're going to build the Maple Systems HMI user interface in EB Pro. So take a look over here. I already have it built, but I'm going to show you how to do this. This is a pump overload simulation, and it's very simple setup. We have some bit lamps as well as toggle switch, set words, a bar graph, and a numeric display. And to add all these, we'll start with the start-stop toggle switch, which is the pump control. And this is a toggle switch. You go to Object, go over to Toggle Switch, and you click this and add this to your screen. You'll see the properties, some of the important attributes here. Make sure you click Toggle Switch, and then read-write device is going to be the Schneider Modbus TCP IP protocol device. Make sure you select that. Then the address that we're using in the PLC program, if you remember, that's MX10.0. That is the control address of the pump. You can adjust the shape here. So if you want to change the state colors, so state 0 when it's off will be gray, state 1 will be green. And then label, I have some settings here. State 0, it'll say off, and then when it's on, it'll say on, and it'll be green. Let's go to the pump status. So here's the bit lamp for the pump on and off. And same thing, you can go over to either bit lamp or you can select toggle switch, and you'll see these properties right here. Make sure you select bit lamp, and then the read address, because the bit lamp is going to be Schneider Modbus TCP IP protocol device, MX10.0, the same address. This toggle switch is controlling the bit lamp here. And then go over to shape, same idea, gray when it's off, green when it's on, label. When it's off, it'll say pump off, and it'll say pump started. When it is on, it'll be green. Now let's go over to the bar graph, which is the tank level. To add a bar graph, Object, go over to Chart, and then select bar graph. And then here are the settings when you add a bar graph. Looks a little different than the bit lamp and toggle switch. We'll start under the General tab. The read address is going to be that word, which is MW0. And you can go over to range, and your minimum value for this example is going to be 0, maximum is going to be 100. If the tank level is greater than or equal to 85, the alarm will turn on. So I actually want to change this to 85. Low color will be blue, and the high color will be red. And then I also have some set words, which are also assigned to MW0 to control the bar graph. So for this example, because it's just a simulation, I want to adjust the tank level with arrows. So I'll add these set words in here, and the right address will be what the tank level is, MW0. And I have an attribute set to press and hold increment. So it's going to jog up if I press the up arrow, and the increment value will be 5. So it'll move every 5. And then the high limit will be 100. And then for the other set word, which is the down arrow, same address, MW0, and I have press and hold decrement, jog, and then the decrement value would be 5, low limit would be 0. So that will control the tank level. And then just to see what the tank level is, I have a numeric display. And just so you know, the set word is right here to add these arrows, and then the numeric display is going to be numeric. So you click numeric, and it'll open up these settings, and this is going to be the actual tank level, and that's going to be MW0 as well. Make sure you choose the Schneider Modbus TCP IP. Finally, we have a bit lamp that's going to be the overload alarm. But before I show you this, I want to show you how you create an event display or an event alarm. So to do that, go to data/history, event alarm log, and we have 2 events here. To create a new one, click new. We'll check out the first one here. So this is for the physical output for the pump overload alarm. So you remember in the logic, we're using QX0.5 for the physical output on the PLC. So when MW0, which is the tank level, when it's greater than or equal to 85, it will turn on QX0.5. So that's saying that right here. So enable, set on, and then when it's below 85, it's going to turn it off. Then we have another event. This one is for the pump status. This is for that bit for the pump on and off. So similar, you're going to be using that read address MW0, the tank level. So when the tank level is greater than or equal to 85, it's going to turn the pump status off. So the pump will be off when the overload alarm is on. And then when it's recovered, so when the value is below 85, the pump status will turn to on. So the pump will be on when it's below 85 and the pump will be off when it's greater than or equal to 85. Then we have another bit lamp. This is to show the overload alarm. And again, it's using that physical output, QX0.5. It's going to read that address. And then we also have a blinking mode here. So it's blinking on state 1. So when it's on, it's going to blink every 1 second. If you remember in the logic, we also have a 1 second timer for the physical output, QX0.5. So the output on the PLC will blink every 1 second, as well as the bit lamp right here. This will blink every 1 second when the overload alarm is on. Okay, now let's download the project to the HMI, and it's really simple. Go up to Project, Download. If you're downloading for the first time and you have new network settings, you need to check off Runtime. In this case, I already have my network settings downloaded to the HMI, so I'm gonna not check off Runtime. And then this is the IP address of the HMI. So click Download, connecting to HMI and checking password, stop project, download CXOB, and it's gonna run through the process, extracting, reboot the HMI, and then it says finished, and that's it. You've downloaded the project to the HMI. All right, now we can test the complete integration. So on this screen, you'll notice that the HMI and the PLC are both online, and we are communicating over Modbus TCP IP. Just to go over what we're seeing here, in the top right corner is CMT Viewer. You need to download this from the Maple Systems website. CMT Viewer, it shows the same runtime interface shown on the physical HMI. So we're looking at a live view of the actual HMI here. In the bottom right corner, of course, that is the M241 PLC. This is a live camera view of the actual PLC. And then over on the left is the Machine Expert Logic Builder PLC software, and we are online with that as well. We're going to simulate the tank level. Right now we are below 85, so the pump is running. I'm just going to use the word lamp arrows here, increase the tank level. And I hit 85, and I actually have a tank level of 90 now, and it triggered that overload alarm. So you can see within CMT Viewer on the HMI, the overload alarm is blinking every 1 second, and the pump turned off. Also, in the logic, you can see you have a lot of blinking logic going on here, and you can also see that the pump overload is blinking as well. And then on the physical PLC in the camera view, you can see that QX0.5 is blinking as well. So you know that your logic is working correctly when the overload alarm is triggered. Now, if I go back to the HMI and I lower it below 85, let's say at 50, you can see that the pump turned back on and the overload alarm turned off. And then you also see that QX0.4 on the PLC itself in the bottom right corner, that little green LED light is back on. And that wraps up this pump overload simulation using a Maple Systems HMI and a Schneider PLC and communicating over Modbus TCP IP. All right, you are now ready to connect a Maple Systems HMI to a Schneider Electric Modicon PLC. EB Pro's built-in Schneider protocols make the integration simple. You don't need any external gateway or additional communication hardware. For detailed instructions, visit the complete integration article on the Maple Systems website. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Maple Systems YouTube page for more training content. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.